Virgo, welcome to your Celtic Cross reading. I hope you're well. I hope you're fabulous. Let's jump on into it, yeah? What's going on? Show me what I need to see, please, for Virgo. Show me what I need to see, please, for Virgo. What's going on? Show me what I need to see, please, for Virgo. What's going on? And as always, take what resonates, leave what does not. What's going on for Virgo, please? All right. Ace of Wands. Ew. Seven of Cups crossing. Okay. I'm feeling something, and I want to burst into it, but how? Let's find out. Above you, Knight of Coins. You got some slow-moving energy around you, and as slow as it might be, it is still nevertheless movement. There's a particular steady pace here that influences you every day. Relevant past, Judgment. Oh. Relevant past, recent past, strong decision that was put before you, a calling. One of those big decisions was either presented unto you by the universe, dear Virgo, figure this out, a lesson, or was Virgo, we need to make a decision about something. Let's keep going. Exiting, Six of Swords. Oh. Leaving something or a situation behind, but it's on the exit. You were mentally trying to clear yourself of something, but it looks like that concept is exiting. In other words, it's reversing on itself. Something that you feel that you might have been prepared or should be prepared to leave behind. I don't know that you're necessarily ready to just yet. Let's keep going. Upcoming future star, beautiful. Something that means a great deal to you. Something that you have a great deal of hope attached to, desires, feelings, longevity. Something that speaks to you very, very strongly coming up. All right. Nice. In your strength, sense of balance, justice, reciprocity, balance. I can even this out. I know I can. That's a good strength to have. I like that. I respect that. This is the truth. I'm going to weigh up the scales. This is how I'm going to show myself justice or this situation justice. I respect that. Very good. Environment, Four Cups. You ain't too happy. That's not a good environment. This means we feel a little down every day in our home environment, in our life. We'll see why. Hopes and fears, the devil. Ooh, the lolly. Is it wrong to hope for this? Or am I just fearing it? Excellent question. I can't wait to see what that is. Outcome, the Magician. You need to figure it out because you're manifesting. So if you're manifesting something you're afraid of, you will reject it. So if you dare manifest for something that means a great deal to you, you have to know that you want it, and you have to know that it's coming from a good place and that it's right for you. We can confuse sometimes these really, really, really strong desires for it must be bad because I feel it way too strong. That happens a lot. So that makes sense then that the devil's showing up in our hopes and fears. Is this a good hope or a bad one? Should I want that? Is it right for me? Is that a bad habit? Is it a pattern? Or is my own fear a pattern that I need to get over in order to accomplish what I'm manifesting? All excellent questions. Let's get cracking. Show me that Ace of Wands, please. Show me that Ace of Wands. What you fired up for? Show me that Ace of Wands. Passion, ignition, reignition, possible. Show me that Ace of Wands. Show me that Ace of Wands, please, for Virgo. Show me that Ace of Wands, please, for Virgo. You got an interesting board here today. Very interesting here. Very interesting. Excuse me. Show me that Ace of Wands, please. Show me that Ace of Wands. I'm waiting for all this. We got drips and drabs of rain here in Texas. I'm waiting for that to wrap up so I can get into some volunteer work, you know, outdoor stuff. I am looking into volunteering with one of my local botanical gardens because I do enjoy, despite my allergies, if you could believe it, I actually do enjoy being outdoors a lot, but I can't with all this rain and stuff, Virgo. I want to get out more, volunteer more with my city, you know. I do love where I live, and I just don't get to invest in it as much as I should like. The Emperor, Temperance, Ace of Cups, look at that. Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. It's nice to see the Emperor used correctly. When we use him for poorly, we get poor results. When we use him correctly, we get really good results. You have an ignition in you that says, I'm fired up in my heart. You have a sense of standing in your power. You might have some very strong fire in your chart, particularly Aries, Sag. You're saying your heart very much calls for the new. Feeling good about your heart, feeling good about your passions. And standing in your power, there's something within you that you wish to heal so that you might feel strong feelings once more. It's beautiful. It's going to take time. But so long as the Emperor insists on making the time for himself, there's nothing he can't achieve. While he is very, very busy ruling a kingdom, he's part of that kingdom too. So he needs to show himself that sense of respect, love, compassion, time, patience. You are wishing to open your heart in the right way, the correct way, and something seems to have gotten your focus, at least energetically, because you're showing me strong concept of, I'm really fired up about something, and it's got my attention. I have strong feeling in here. I want to pursue something. But it means energetically I need to get my health in order, my personal self in order. I want my heart space to expand in the right ways. I want to be ignited. I want to be turned up, as the kids say. But I need to show myself passion and compassion. There's something in yourself that you are standing up for because you desire something very strongly. Let's see if you achieve it. I hope you do with that kind of energy. That's beautiful. There's something here that says you can engage in it and it speaks to you strongly. You want it. But you also seem to think it requires healing on your part in order to acquire it. Let's keep going. Seven of Cups is in the opposition. Options in love, understanding our feelings. They're going this way, they're going that way. I'm feeling this, I'm feeling that. Sometimes I get overwhelmed. You know, where to pursue it. What am I feeling exactly? What are the opportunities that are before me? All right, show me that Seven of Cups. Show me that Seven of Cups, please. Show me that Seven of Cups. Show me that Seven of Cups. Show me that Seven of Cups, please, for Virgo. Eight of Cups. 10 of Cups. 6 of Wands. I don't know what it is. You will best know. I'm seeing it as a very vague reference, one that I can't entirely pin down. Your heart is restless, and it's with reason. There is something here that represents emotional harmony that isn't quite so harmonious. I have you in some sort of emotional construct that on the surface you feel confident about, but it does not bring you joy. I see you engaging in it, and that your heart is not satisfied with it, thus it has become restless. You're not emotionally fed. There is something here that you are detached from, Eight of Cups, emotionally. You are probably still engaged with it, but you no longer find it satisfying. Or you haven't for some time. Now, I could be seeing something in reference to the past where you've already walked away from a relationship that was supposed to be a relationship. Emotional harmony with somebody who represents immediacy. Now, this could be family, for sure. That 10 of Cups has absolutely that position of general family emotional support system. But it can also be significant other. I'm kind of leaning towards that simply because you are showing me my heart is restless. And me having options feels limited because I'm still tied to someone that I'm no longer emotionally attached to, but nevertheless, your energy seems to be gearing up towards new or wanting new or desiring new. And it requires, again, patience and healing on your part, understanding specifically that you want it. So the Emperor has to brace himself for these concepts. He has to know that he wants new in order to achieve them. I see you engaging in something emotionally that does not satisfy you. And it hasn't, probably for a while. It doesn't stick. Not like it used to. There's what should be, this is happy, healthy, emotional energy that you share with somebody. You're detached from it. You don't feel it like that anymore. It hasn't harmonized in a long time, or it doesn't feel fulfilling. You say you feel pretty good about the emotional relation. I mean, not the relationship itself. Like, you know it exists and it gives you some confidence, but emotionally you don't feel supported in it and you can't find yourself in it anymore. And that's why you see the Seven of Cups as an obstacle. You don't know if you can explore cups right now because you're still involved with something, even if it doesn't emotionally carry you in it anymore. So your base energy, it says, I want new, I'm gravitating towards new, and perhaps I'm healing parts of myself to prepare myself for new, right? And in so doing, the stronger you understand this energy, the more you're going to understand how checked out you've been from something else. And that's why you see the Seven of Cups as an obstacle. We haven't completely checked out from it physically, mentally, emotionally. Yeah, it's not as satisfying, or it hasn't been for a long time. Why? I don't know. I'm not doing the backstory. You would know best. While you take comfort in knowing it's there and it gives you some confidence, your heart wants to expand outside of this because you're not in it anymore. You're just not. Okay? That's the Virgo I'm speaking to today. It's not a challenge. It's not meant to be. Take it, resonates, leave it. Does not. Real tarot, real life. Okay? That's it. Those are the rules. All right. Knight of Pentacles. That's what's interesting. You're influencing energy that surrounds you at all the time. So you are moving in a particular direction. You are moving in a particular pace. However, it's so slow, perhaps you cannot see it. Powerfully, as the Emperor. Are you gravitating towards new? Yes. Have you allowed yourself? No. I see why. You're still in something that requires a construct, even though you're not personally in it. Not here. You are expanding outwards. And there's something that calls to you, honey. There's something that calls to you. No matter how seemingly slow, things are moving in a particular direction. Show me that Knight of Pentacles, please. Show me that Knight of Pentacles. Show me that Knight of Pentacles. Show me that Knight of Pentacles, please. Knight of Pentacles, Seven of Wands. Ah, Judgment. Oh, ho, ho, ho. Queen of Pentacles. Okay, okay. Got it. Got it. Got it. Thank you for being so clear. I appreciate that instead of making me work for it. The water signs will make me work for it, honey. You better believe your ass. But you were just Virgo's being Virgo here. Let me tell you how it is. This is why I love your energy so much. You and Capricorn can get to the point sometimes really well. Taurus makes me work for it. I swear to God. Well, that's who they are. But you and Capricorn, you'll be like, I got you. So, judgment is in your relevant past. It's also hovering what you think is a decision that is not before you. Yes, it is. It's still current. You think it's out of your life. You, Virgo, the Virgo I'm looking at says that decision has passed. You know, I had a spiritual lesson. I had a judgment call. And it didn't happen. It's past. It's beneath me. Wrong. Wrong. It is still in your influential energy. You just can't see it. It's how slow it's going. You think a decision that was very critical is out. It's done. It's passed out of your life. Something that you feel you should have moved on from. It hasn't. I was confused about that because when I see a Six of Swords or the World or Death and an exit, that means that which we think is over or that we moved on from isn't quite done yet. And that is absolutely 100% what I'm seeing here. You actually still have judgment attached to you. What you think is exit or no longer an option in your life or no longer a judgment call specifically in your life is actually still hovering with you. You just block it with the Seven of Wands. And that's not a decision. Christina, that's not, I know what you're talking about, but that I've moved on from that. That's no longer a decision. Perhaps it was. You know, perhaps it was a critical decision, if you will, if you must, Christina. Perhaps it was a spiritual decision. Fine, but it's gone. That decision's no longer on the table. That's what you tell yourself, but it's not true. That Seven of Wands, like, no. I'm blocking that. There's no way. There's no way. Wrong. You are still moving in the direction, okay? It's just taking a long time for you to see it because you blocked that judgment call repeatedly about moving forward. And I'll tell you why. You're hanging back in your comfort zone as the Queen of Pentacles. You have possibly a fear of being destabilized. You are perhaps afraid of leaving everything you've known. You are perhaps afraid of losing that which you have come to rely upon in your 3D world every day. You know, the thing about the comfort zone with the King, Queen of Pentacles is real. It's really real. Okay? And it's kind of like I have to put my household first. I have to put my stability first. But really what we're doing is that we're just denying a decision that is still with us today. I know you think that decision has exited. It's not. It's with you still. And I think what keeps you in place is this concept of comfort zone. I'm afraid to leave what I've known. I'm afraid to leave what I've built, right? And yet, nevertheless, the decision remains in your energy at all times. I kind of see what the decision is. It's an emotional one. I got news for you. Your Emperor energy is much larger than I think you are aware of. The parts of you that need to heal, specifically what you feel love for, who you feel love for, what you feel fired up for, who you feel fired up for, is much stronger than the decision you say you don't have. You are no longer emotionally attached to something that should be harmonizing you at the emotional level. You have confidence in it because it's there. That confidence is lending to your sense of comfort. I know what to expect from this. Even if I'm not stoked for it, even if I don't have feeling for it, I know what to expect from it. Let's get judgment in the recent past. I gotta see that. Judgment in the relevant past, please. Show me judgment, show me judgment, show me judgment. To accept this judgment call, to accept this spiritual decision, okay, to choose new for yourself, comes from a place of, I have to get out of my comfort zone in order to do it. It's a little more than that, of course. This is obviously the simplified version of one's life. But then we can always say, you know how people use the words, it's complicated, to summarize their relationships? In other words, it's ridiculous. And two people are keeping it propped up by calling it, it's complicated. That way they never have to really resolve it, but then they don't really have to deepen it either. So we default to, it's complicated. And that kind of excuses us in our stupid minds from having to make any real decisions. Well, it's complicated. That's literally what it sounds like. It's dismissive. It's too hard. I don't want to have to make a decision to either be in it or to completely exit it, so I'm just not going to do either. Now, you're telling me it's complicated to make that kind of spiritual decision, Christina. It kind of defies all my normatives. It defies everything I know. It defies the world I've built. So it's complicated. I believe you. But is what you want complicated? Because what you want seems to be pretty damn straightforward. You want new. Knight of Swords. The Magician. That's why it's still in your life, honey, because you're still manifesting it. That's why the judgment call is with you to this day as it was in your past. In other words, it has not changed. And you're showing me the same energy. King, Queen of Pentacles. Okay. We are still manifesting. We are still manifesting, but something that has more of our sense of self-worth tied up to it. You know? It's kind of like, Virgo, you have to choose the life you have versus the life you want. You could upgrade through your decisions. You still want so much more for yourself. Here's the settling version of you, and there's the idealized version of you. One that you say is no longer on the table. I can't achieve that. No, it's still with you to this day. That decision, whatever that is. You have it within you to upgrade your life, to glow up, to be the person that you really want to be. And you could have a new comfort zone for yourself, one that you really love and that you see yourself in, that maximizes your sense of self-worth and your self-love. You say that time has passed, I can't manifest that. It's not my decision. You're still pulling it in. That's why it's with you to this day. Even while you simultaneously reject the judgment, you are still pulling it in. You still want the option, in other words, available to you. Which is funny because the Seven of Cups is in your challenge, the options. It's like, I still want the option available to me, Christina. I'm just not ready to take another option. Perhaps the time of options is past and it's no longer available to me, so I should just let it go. No, it's still with you. The opportunity for change is still with you. The opportunity to be that head of state, to achieve the life that you want, is still with you. You say the choice is the obstacle because you're still in something. That indeed is an obstacle, but it's one that you choose to keep. That's where the conflict comes in. You feel obligated to keep something you no longer wish to keep because it would be too disruptive if you changed, right? So I know you think that particular ship has sailed on by. It just kind of floated out. There is no decision. There is nothing to move on from. No. Some of that Six of Swords, you're not ready to leave this vision. You're not ready to leave the vision. You still very much desire new. But you see choice as the obstacle. That choice is still with you, my love. Show me that Six of Swords. Show me that Six of Swords. There's someone here who you have a very strong connection with. You say you're supposed to move on from, possibly Scorpio, possibly Gemini. You have a lot of passion for them. They have a lot of passion for you. You say it's over. You say it's over. As you best understand it, do they represent that choice? I bet you dimes to fucking donuts they represent the choice. Do you want to know how I know that? The Lovers in old school tarot was called the choice. Too many people confused it with judgment, so it was changed to the Lovers. They represent the choice. The love that you want versus the one that you say that you're part of, but you can't leave. Very strong connection. This person gives us confidence. This person makes us feel alive. You say it has exited. This concept of it having exited has not exited. It just seems that way. As far as I can tell, it's up for transformation. That's why the decision or the choice is with you still. Even when we think something's over, until we're spiritually and emotionally completely done with it, it's not over. I see you emotionally done with something that you're a part of, but you have not allowed that to happen in the 3D. I see something that's very spiritually and emotionally alive. But by all rights, it's out of your vision. Right? The judgments are with you still. No. With that kind of energy, honey, it's never really going to leave you. Oh my, this situation has choice written all over it, and you say that's the problem. Choice is the problem. I shouldn't want that choice. Even though I'm part of something I wouldn't emotionally choose, had it been 10 years ago or something like that. But it's what I have chosen, and I haven't exited it. You're blocking the opportunity. You would still pull it in, though. That's why I tell people to be careful with that manifestation, honey. If we're not prepared to embrace what we really want, we will reject it. And I see you trying to reject that which you really want. And I'm sorry, your emperor's putting up a damn good fight. And that's what he does, honey. And that's what the emperor does. The bigger part of you that desires that Ace of Cups, the bigger part of you that desires that Ace of Wands would pull this in and say it's mine. But you have to know what you want. You have to know that you love yourself enough to evoke those changes. You have to know what you're worth. You have to be so empowered, and you want to be empowered. You do. You want to be empowered to make the decision. That's all you're telling me. You want to be empowered to make the decision. I hope you achieve it. Because this, it's not an option, yes it is, not an option, yes it is, isn't working for you. You keep defaulting to your realistic 3D world to dictate which you are naturally called to. Your 3D energy is not equipped to handle what it is that you are deeply feeling in your spiritual self. You want to empower yourself more so you can gravitate towards your aces. Whomever this is, that represents newness, but not new. Oh no, that connection is fierce as hell, honey. It's fierce as hell. And now you're like, well, that opportunity sailed on by. Yeah, it was an opportunity. It's like, but perhaps you just weren't in a position to see it that way. But it was there. It's almost like that kind of choice is a bitch, Christina. Yeah, it is. Yeah. The real choices in life are an absolute bitch. They're supposed to be. It empowers us to choose. Or we don't empower ourselves and we don't choose. Nevertheless, I have to insist, honey, the decision still lays before you. It does. Even if it's not with this person, you still say you want something else. You want to be part of something else. You're still marked with aces, be it new or renewal. Some of the star, please, in the immediate future. Some of the star, please. Some of the star, please. Two of Wands, Hanged Man, Five of Swords. You're playing down the clock. You're acting like you're not. So the Five of Swords, self-deception, the Hanged Man, Two of Wands. You're literally telling yourself you don't have a decision. Yes, you do. I have seen what you desire. Not just in the form of love, what you would have for yourself. Take love or whatever the strong connection is off the table. You would still desire to see yourself empowered. To take hold of your destiny. To have the right to choose for yourself. Because what you're currently in, you no longer emotionally choose. You're just still there, lingering. And I know where it comes from. It's that sense of confidence and stability for having a relationship, even if you're not emotionally tied to it. There's still a sense of confidence that comes from knowing that it's there. You walk through the door, you know who you're going to see, you know what they're going to say, you know what's going to go down, and there's a comfort in that. And it gives us confidence, knowing it's there, even if we're not into it or feel it anymore. And that's why you keep saying, I don't have a choice, I don't have a choice, I don't have it. There is no decision, it's past. It hasn't passed at all. It's still with you, even to this day. You still very much desire, hope, and dream for something that isn't this. You still hope, dream, and desire for yourself choices that you have not had in a long time. You still hope, dream, and desire for yourself a sense of self-empowerment and saying, this is what I choose. I am my own person. You want the freedom to choose, but it's like you don't want the responsibility of choice. There is more burden in choice than there is freedom. But the point is that you have the freedom to make that choice no matter how burdensome. Again, you're showing me I want to be able to have the option to choose, but I don't want the responsibility of it. If you truly desire something or someone as much as I believe you do, and then tell yourself there's nothing to choose, it's a lie. That tells me how much the opposite is true. You want the freedom to choose. You want to be empowered. And I'm telling you, the way you opened with that Emperor dead center reading over aces, give it time. Giving yourself time, that energy is just going to get bigger. It's not going to go away. It's not going to magically go away. I know you think this connection kind of drifted magically away from your life. See, it's no longer, the stress is gone. The stress is gone. That connection is not in my life anymore. I don't have any more distress on this. I'm not stressed out about it. See, the choice is gone. Choice is gone. Choice is gone. Fucking finito. It's gone. See, I ain't gonna worry about it anymore. See? I'm glad I kept my relationship or whatever this is. Because now I know it's still there. Whew. At least I know this is still there. I'm not calling you a liar. What I'm saying is that you act like you don't want this. You do. You act like you don't want the choice. You have it. You want it. You just act like you don't. I know that you hope time will pass and it'll really take away this sense of decision. And it will really subtract from what it is you really feel and desire. I know. I know. Sometimes we want these spiritual lessons, these spiritual choices just to go the fuck away so they'll stop stressing us out. When in fact it's what we desire the most. I saw you pulling them in. What you may not be aware of is that you're pulling them in to this day. You want the freedom to choose them as opposed to what you continue to choose to this day. Here's your choice in the 3D. Here's your choice spiritually. Whether or not you will make those things align is up to you. To do this takes work. To do this takes knowledge of knowing where we want to be and how we want to line up with it. To go from this to this takes work. Alright, now you're like, no, go back down. You don't want that. No, no, no. Never mind. I take that back. I didn't mean that. I didn't want that. Nope, didn't want that. Choice gone anyway. Psh, go away. Oh. No. I said I didn't want that. Oh. No. Yeah, you do. Alright, Lucy, it's going to keep coming back, honey. I don't know how. I don't know when. I don't know what form it's going to take, but I do know this. Karma's a bitch. I don't even know if it's karma. That would be more indicative to the Tower. Even with justice as the scales, karmic balance, sure. Judgment's more about, this is for you. This is your lesson. You keep manifesting it, acting like you don't want it, but you do. And we're giving you the opportunity to choose it, and when you choose it, you choose yourself. It's what you want, Virgo. And we're going to keep trying to give it to you. And you probably see it as a test that you have to pass. And here's what's funny is that the universe distinctly has given you multiple times to take the test, you know? You want to retake that test, Virgo? Here it is again. Here it is again. Here it is. No, I don't want that. It'll go away. It'll go away. That desire, that pull, no, that'll go away. That'll go away. No, I don't need to retake that test. I'm comfortable about this other test I took some time ago, and it made sense to me then, and I feel like that's the test I passed, not this one. This one's way too complicated. That's a complicated test. We won't take that. I'm not trying to do E equals MC squared, okay? I'm not trying to do that. I'm just trying to say, this is what I have, and I would feel better if I had more choices in my life where they actually match what I want. So thank you for trying to give them to me, but I didn't really mean it. Do you see what I'm saying? No. It's very much with you. Speaking of karmic balance, your strength weighing up the scales. Let's shift. Not trying to give you a hard time, honey. You want to see a hard time? Check out Tauruses, and I love Taurus to pieces. But I tell you what, they have to be pushed back on hard, as all fixed signs do. Shit. You know? So no, I'm not giving you a hard time. I just want to point out to you the Virgo I'm looking at. So again, if it's not yours, don't take it. See how simple that is? No, Virgo I'm looking at, you very much want the option to choose love or something from a sense of empowerment. And then the choice is presented to you and you're like, no, I ain't got a choice. No. Let's see how far your Emperor grows. Give it time. Give it time. As far as the universe is concerned, this is an open case for you. It's like, nah, Virgo. This choice hasn't gone anywhere. It's part of your lesson. Oh, I know. Oh, I know. If we don't learn it in one way, we're going to learn it another way. Show me justice, please. Strength. Some Libra in your chart, as well as Capricorn. We got Scorpio here, as we said. Gemini, a little bit of Aquarius. Not that any of that matters. It either fits or don't. Page of Pentacles, the Sun, the Ten of Wands. You're saying it's so hard. It's so hard to find justification for your happiness. Yeah, you want to know why? Because you're achieving a happiness that you don't actually want. Saying it's really hard to invest in my happiness and to make that happiness fair. It's really hard. Did you ever ask yourself why that is? You're good at it. Don't get me wrong. You're good at it. By hook or by crook, I'm going to make this fucking thing happy. You're good at it. How long have you been good at it? Trying to force happiness and fairness out of a situation that is neither happy nor fair. How long have you been playing that game? Don't worry, don't get me wrong. All suns come with a price. How hard we're willing to work for it. But how long have you been trying to work for your happiness and make a situation fair that seems like you're losing interest in investing in day by day? Have you been going at that for a while? Mm-hmm. How exhausted are you at trying to acquire happiness? For a situation? For someone else? Oh, I know you say that's a strength. I believe you. Should you have to work that hard to make things happy and balanced? Four of Cups. In your environment, unhappy. That's unhappiness. Sadness. Possibly lethargy. Emotionally feeling down. It's like low-level sadness, low-level depression. And it's very tempting to get locked into that Four of Cups because 4 represents, well, circular holding patterns. Except it's on the emotional level. A little bit of sadness every day. Yeah, I'd be a little bit sad every day if I had to work that damn hard to make everything happy and balanced and fair, and it just putting myself into something that doesn't actually feel fair or happy. But I keep doing it, right? Some of that Four of Cups, please. Some of that Four of Cups. Yeah. Devil. I wasn't surprised. Oh no. I got heavy energy here. A lot. Covering up that Four of Cups. I mean a ton of it. Devil, Temperance, the Moon. That Capricorn, Sag, Pisces for some of you. In your everyday environment. That contributes to this little bit of sadness everyday type situation. There is a situation here that will not mend. And somebody refuses to see it with the Moon. It's feeling, saying it for what it is, it feels like emotional codependency, which is nobody's favorite thing ever to say. Honey, there's a reason why you're still in a dynamic that you have emotionally checked out from, but you say brings you comfort. That's emotional codependency. I can't really leave this even though it makes me sad, because I'm afraid to. So I'm going to keep up this pretense that I can heal it, even though under the Moon, the efforts, the end result, does not improve. There's fear here to leave what we have known. There is fear here to leave what a little emotional reciprocity there is. And it could be someone who's very codependent on you. Absolutely. And then you feel the weight of it. You feel the weight of responsibility for carrying someone else's sense of happiness and fairness. That would explain a lot. If you feel someone is dependent on you. You're not particularly happy with this dynamic. part of you feels very obligated to stay in whatever this is, and we have this vague notion that it'll get better in time, and it never does. 4 cups plus 4 cups is more 4 cups. If somebody's energy weigh you down that heavily, we refuse to see, but you intuitively feel is all fucked up and wrong. Toxic, codependent. Even if it's what you might call codependent neutral. In other words, it's not obvious. 2 people who refuse to leave each other even though they're not emotionally attached to each other anymore. Okay. It becomes toxic even if it's not discussed, especially if it's not discussed. And there's this vague reference that, yeah, things are fine between us. That's as damaging as anything else. Do you know why? Because it takes 2, 3, 4, 5 times as longer to figure out. When no one's overtly angry and no one's outwardly upset. There's this companionable sort of, we both agree on the same kind of lie, but we're not going to talk about it. There's a reason why you want the choice. You see the choice as an options. You see it as a threat. When it's what you desire the most. Then you hang back in somebody else's energy that makes you fucking miserable. Even if it is codependent light, where it's not obvious between 2 people, it still wreaks havoc just the same. And yet you have been marked repeatedly with here's another way, here's another way, here's an alternative, here's a choice, here's a choice, here's a choice. I want that choice. It makes me feel good. No, I don't. Get the choice away from me. There is no choice. What the fuck are you talking about? There is no choice. Nope, there is no choice. Nope. Oh, look, it exited. Great, great, great. That complication is out of my life. That fucking get out. Oh. I don't want them. No, I don't want them. I don't want them. I don't want them. I want them. I don't want them. I don't want them. I don't want choice. Fuck no. I'm good. I'm good where I'm at. That's a lie. I've seen you do this multiple times throughout your reading. And I see why. That's emotional codependency between you and someone else. It's the reason you stay even though you're gone. You hear me? When you recognize this, when it comes out of the moon, and understand that there's some things that just cannot be repaired because they're not supposed to be. If you ever get to that point, the only reason you'll be kicking your ass is that you wished you had realized it sooner. This is the worst kind. It'll take years off of us. Years. But if we act like we don't have options, or that that's closed when we know it's not, we act like we don't desire this, we say we don't want it, it's going to just keep dragging out. It's going to keep... Honey, this was presented to you for a reason. It was presented to you for a reason. Devil. Twice. Heavy Capricorn energy, but like I said, it's fears, toxicity, codependency. Okay. The Virgo I'm looking at, you had a clear alternative and you shot it down. But it's still with you. It's still with you. It's still with you and you feel it. You feel it. You feel it. I know you do. I know you do. Your Emperor does too. Show me that devil, please. Show me that devil, please. One more. Show me that devil, please. In your environment, as well as in your hopes and fears that things will continue this way, and I don't want it, but I can't admit that to myself, or that things might change and I don't know how to handle that. It's all fear, honey. It's all fear. The Empress. We're very determined to hold on to somebody who is in our household because they represent comfort, if not much else. That's strong determination, and I promise you it's based in fear. We got used to holding on to this, so we're going to keep doing it. That's a lot. But the Emperor is not satisfied. Not with this Empress. Sex is irrelevant. This is how I'm seeing it. The Emperor is greatly dissatisfied. We're determined to hold on to this. And it ties back to our household energy. One that gives us comfort because it's there. But it also looks... I have to hold on to this. They represent, and that environment that I do not care for, and I'm not even joking about that little bit of sadness every day. With this delusion, with the moon, that things will get better. They don't. And you feel hard pressed to keep that happiness going. Oh, aren't we happy? Aren't we balanced? Well, our signs are putting... I haven't done Capricorns yet. And they're putting me through it today. Show me the Magician, please. Show me the Magician. Show me the Magician. Show me the Magician, please. I know someone was presented to you as an alternative. I know. Situation, something. And you felt strongly called to it. And you would still... You would still desire it, even though you tell yourself you do not. I can see this person, I don't think, had a chance to break through with that kind of energy. That's a lockdown thing. This is not going anywhere. I'm not going anywhere. You're not going anywhere. This is what we chose. This is what we're sticking to it. Even if we're fucking miserable, we're going to pretend like we're not. That's why I'm concerned. One more. The Fool. Your heart still desires what it desires. And you're killing me, honey. You're killing me. You're killing me. You're fucking killing me, honey. You still pull them in. And here's the thing. You're going to beat yourself up about it. You're going to say, bad Virgo. I'm not pulling them in. I'm not. That opportunity, that choice, whatever the fuck they represented past, no. It's stronger than it ever was. The more you double down and insist on this dynamic that makes you fucking miserable, and you act like it don't. You act like you're not codependent, or they're not. Somebody is. It's likely two people. The more you immerse in this and say, this is mine and I have to keep it, the stronger your magician energy gets for a fucking rescue. You want to be rescued. I told you that Emperor is getting stronger, and so too is their manifestation. You are pulling in heavy Scorpio energy here. You are pulling this. Your spiritual energy wants freedom. You want to have huge feelings, and you want the option again. You want the option. You said the option's gone. You want it back. You want it back. I don't care what you tell me. You want this back. Do you know why? Because it's healthy. You actually desire this more than you allow yourself, and more than what you allowed yourself to decide upon when it came to this person. You want them. You want the big feelings. You want that option and love back. And I got news for you. You're pulling it right the hell in. You did it in your past. And it got you closer to feeling like yourself. But when it came time to up the ante for the decision, you let it exit in some way. Or exited itself because it wouldn't come through. I said you were killing time, saying I don't desire that. You played out the clock. You want it back. And you are manifesting more so in future than you did in the past. So do be careful. I'm not chastising you. I actually, you know what I want, Virgo, honey? Because I do this, and I see where people's energies are best served, I actually want you to have this. I do. I see what you have, and I see it's not good for you. I see what you want, and that it is good for you, but I also know if it does come back, under that manifestation, there's a damn good chance it will. There's a good chance you'll reject it again. Or let it pass by again. Or play out the clock again. Or tell yourself it's not what you want again. It will come back. Stronger than ever before. I want you to have it. This is actually what's right for you. That's what's wrong for you. But tell that to somebody who's like been in a relationship for X many years and they built a whole world around that. You know, it's kind of like a Fleetwood Mac's Landslide. Very much like that. I'm afraid of changing because I've built my whole life around you. Right? But time makes you bolder. Is time going to make you bolder? That the next time this comes back in, and it will it make you bolder? You say you don't want an option. You say the options are an absolute bitch. You don't want anything to do with options. Yes, you do. You want it back. You want the option to love back. You want the option of that big, bold, beautiful heart space back. And you want to open up towards it with the full spiritual energy. Very strong. You can't mistake that. And you can't fake it. I'm off on a new adventure. Like we're playing Skyrim. I'm a Skyrim nerd. I love Skyrim. I've played it like the whole game through about 6 times. I love it. And every time when you start that game up, if you're a nerd like me and you know what I'm talking about, any kind of quest game, any sort of a detailed quest game like Skyrim or Witcher, something like that, every time you launch it, you're like, I'm going on an adventure. But that's the game, isn't it? You get to turn that off and turn it on whenever you want. The thing is, what you don't know, that actually applies to life too. It's just we get ourselves grounded in this reality that we insist we have, even though it's not very good for us. I'm sorry that this is so damn strong, but you also play a part in it. You continue to choose it, so it chooses you back, and I know where it comes from. That choice comes from fear. This is choice of love that you want for yourself, and you will again want it again, more so in future. This is a choice of, I have to keep this, not because I want it, because I tell myself I have to. When they come back in, I do not know. But at the rate you're manifesting it, it's inevitable. For some of you, summer. The same 7 of Cups where you're like, that, I don't need that option. I'm fine with what I have. I'm not really in it, but I'm fine with what I have. I don't want it. I don't want it. The choice isn't here anymore. Nope. You're bringing the choice back. You want the choice. Your spirit is saying, Virgo, I want more for us. This is what I actually want for us. Thing is, honey, when you manifest them back, if you're still not prepared to accept that love energy, and you're still insisting you have to hold on to this, same plus same plus same. But that's correct. They are still with you in judgment. I know you think it exited. It has not. The decision is with you still. You're still pulling them in. I have every reason to believe you two will have another juncture on your timeline. It's just further out than I can see it. I didn't think that was 53 minutes. Could have fooled me. Okay. You want the choice back. The Emperor is not satisfied with this situation. The Emperor wants freedom. The freedom to choose. And I'm telling you, the way you are manifesting and the way you insist it's over, that it's not a choice. It's not a spiritual lesson for you. I wouldn't choose it even if it was... No. You had every reason to choose it. To completely walk away from something that you were no longer emotionally part of. You had the opportunity. I know you did. But then that sense of obligation, I have to hold on to this. Who says so? Who says? Why? The devil spoke about that twice. It's fear. Emotional dependency. Toxicity. You say it's a strength to carry the bullshit for 2 people and pretend you're happy. Oh, I believe you. I bet that became a strength over time. Yes. Family concerns. Some of you are like, it's family. It's all about family. It's about family. What would the family say? I don't know. What would the family say? Oh, I didn't know you were so fucking miserable, Virgo. What can you do with your life that will not make you so miserable? But then there's the fussiness around that. Well, what about our family interchange? And we have such a huge family. I don't know. Some of you do have huge families. Both sides. I don't know that you necessarily have children, but some of you have a very expansive family. I don't want them to be disappointed in us, you know. That's more of that it's complicated thinking that excuses us from doing anything. That's complicated. As soon as we say that, we negate any responsibility for taking action. That's why I hate that term. I've always hated it. I've always hated it. That was some passive-aggressive bullshit when it was introduced on Facebook how many years ago, and it's still some passive-aggressive bullshit to this day. It's complicated. Well, sounds like you're not going to be happy. You acquiesce to it. Therefore, you get what you get. It's complicated. Fuck, it's complicated. Make it uncomplicated. That's me, though. I don't like grays. I do not like grays. I like hard definitions. But that's me. Something either is or it isn't, and I can tell you what is. You're pulling this person back, and they will arrive again. I told you it wasn't shut down. You just think it is. You think it's moved on. It hasn't. It will come back in when it's supposed to. Ghosted. Yeah, some of you ghosted this person or they ghosted you. The concept was we couldn't keep waiting. I couldn't keep waiting around to see how this connection was going to make sense. The point is, we often produce the results that we're looking for. So if we keep telling ourselves this ain't shit and this ain't shit to me, there's going to be some ghosting. The more we act like we don't care or that this is not what we want, you're going to get the results. Okay? I just know that they were introduced strongly to your timeline multiple times. Multiple times, possibly over years. That's how strong that judgment energy is attached to the situation. And if you noticed, not attached to this one. Just pointing things out. Fear and anxiety, exactly. Fear and anxiety about the regrets. Fear and anxiety about the regrets. I had this choice, I had this option, I didn't take it. They ghosted, I ghosted, somebody dipped out. Healthy boundaries, somebody insisted on healthy boundaries, so they pushed back, ghosted, killed the connection. I don't know, you take that as it resonates. But somebody insisted upon boundaries. It was a karmic lesson, we have to keep the faith. Yes, there are karmic lessons in here, we need to learn them. Karmic. Toxicity, codependency is karmic bullshit. In other words, we're supposed to learn from it, not wallow in it, not live in it, and not make it our excuse for day-to-day living. Sorry, I don't mean to get up your ass, but this is stuff that needs to be learned because, Virgo, I hate this shit. I hate it. I hate it when I see somebody's magnificent potential and then they say they don't have potential. They say, this is what I want. No, I lied. This is what I want. There's two sides of you. One that is glorious and knows what it wants, is not afraid to get it or manifest it. God dang, you have such strong manifestation skills. You pulled this person in repeatedly. That's how strong your manifestation skills are. Not just for this person, because of the love that you want. You pulled this person in repeatedly over years. Do you have any idea how powerful you are? And then you say, no, I don't. I didn't pull that in. That doesn't make me deliriously fucking happy. No, not at all. No. God, it's like, honey, just be careful with that because they will come back in at some point. At the rate that you're pulling in the love energy specifically, you want their cup again. You want access to that fucking person's cup again. And your energy is blasting open towards it. So I don't want you to be in a position to set yourself up for failure or them if you guys have already been through this with this person before. So if you're going to pull them in, make sure you can choose them. Really choose them. You do have karmic lessons here. Keep the faith in you. You have no idea how powerful you are. You have no idea how powerful you are. That the universe tried to deliver this to you several times. And apparently will again. So be careful with that. For some of you, your person is the divine feminine. Slow and steady. Understand your self-worth. Exactly. You choose the love you allow. So if you really believe all your worth is this kind of toxic, codependent emotionality, I can't really leave you because, well, I just can't. You need to understand where that comes from. Just in case there's any confusion. And this stems from this and not understanding that we will choose the love we believe we deserve. Do you think that your love is worth some codependent toxic bullshit where you're not really happy, but you kind of eat humble pie or every day? Yeah, this has been what? Yep. Oh, I'm totally... No, this is totally the life I want. No, it's fair, honey. It's fair. It's bullshit. Your energy wants so much more, and I have every reason to believe this will be pulled back in at some time. I have no doubt. It's never left you. It never left you. I don't know. There might be something over the summer. Next month for some of you, where are we? So May. Let it happen organically. Okay. And know that you're ready to let it happen organically. Obsessing over time creates blocks. Okay. Time is still unknown. So for some of you, it's a vague sense of anywhere beginning next month to somewhere over the summer. But it needs to happen of its own accord. And don't focus on the time frames, just allow it to happen organically. But yes, there might be some energetic movement within the month or so. Like I said, between a month to a summer, I believe. No charms today. We don't need to be doing that. I just got this one. Air sign. For some of you, your person is Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Some of you might have some very strong aspects of air in your chart. Somebody here might be an air sign. I don't know. That's for some of you, not all of you. Like I said, they'll be back. Understand it now. They'll be back. Yeah, at the rate you're pulling them in, you're damn right. They're not done. I'm sorry, you're not done pulling this energy because I know who you want and I know what you tell yourself that you're supposed to be with. That old conflict. Patience. Yeah. Just a few more months. Just a few more months. Like I said. Health. Oh. Health issues could arise for somebody. Now, this is interesting. Let's be mindful of those health issues, especially if you're someone who's been neglecting yourself physically. Okay. Let's be mindful of that. Careful with that energy. Okay, part of the obligation of being a king and queen of pentacles is that we take care of our physical form as well. So it's not just self-love. That means your body too. Be careful with that. And then narcissist. Now, not my favorite because people use this word way too much and they have no fucking idea what it means. It's become a general label that everyone seems to be super, super into right now. And words have come and gone in the zeitgeist of the human language to describe someone else that we don't like. And the current one is narcissist. It gets way overused and most people have no idea what it means. However, I want to amend that most people have narcissistic traits. It's called self-interest. There's a big difference between advocating for oneself and pushing in that direction of the self and someone who's just a straight up asshole who is selfish and uses other people. There's a big difference. So let's be careful with that word narcissist. Someone who looks in the mirror and is just reassurance, constantly reassurance of how great they are, how fantastic they are, but it's a cheap image. It's a cheap image. It's not really believed. The real worth is knowing that we can look on ourselves on the inside and understanding what's in there. Okay. we might be part of this dynamic because we really feel like the other person needs us, and in which case that is a form of narcissism. It's like, well, without me, they would perish. Says who? Says who? That's a form of codependency. And that sense of overinflated sense of self. Without me, they would die. They'd be nowhere. They'd be nothing without me. No, that's not true. That's what sometimes we might tell ourselves in order to, again, justify it's complicated. So someone is too full of themselves. Especially if we get into that habit of looking in the mirror, seeing what we want to see. And we take other people for granted. We use other people to feel better about ourselves. That kind of thing. So be careful with this, okay? It could be the person whom you're tied to, and in which case, again, why would you want to keep yourself tied to them? That means you have a lot of unresolved issues with that person, and you need to take a look at that dynamic because you're playing into it as well. I'm sorry, I don't harbor excuses. It is really hard for me to read the comments and be like, they're narcissistic, I hate them, they're narcissistic, they ruin my life. I just want them to come back around and tell me they love me. Who's narcissist? First, this person's pleading for sympathy, okay, about how hard they had it. And then they want their feelings justified by that other person. Again, we use that word a little too fast and a little too loose without any real premise of what's behind it and how our own ego is driving it. So, let's be careful about what we're doing, why we're doing it, how we're presenting ourselves, and where it's coming from, and what are we trying to get from it. Okay? I don't know who that is. But I'm telling you, even if this is toxic, because this is fucking toxic, I'm sorry. Bare fucking minimum, Virgo, it is emotional codependency. They have to. I have to. No, you don't. Why would you want to be a part of that? Why would you want to stay in it? If it's, no. And even if this is you catering to someone else's ego by making sure that they're always happy and everything feels fair and balanced, you're fucked in that particular equation. So again, why would you want to stay in it? You tell yourself you have to. That's a form of codependency. So no, it takes two. It takes two. I'm just saying that because I'm getting really sick of the misuse of that word. We need to look to thine own selves first. What am I doing? How am I contributing to this? Or am I just so full of myself that I can't leave this situation, so I have to say they need me in order to justify the part I'm playing? Something to think about. Now, you didn't know tarot was going to be all this, did you? I know what you're used to. Yeah, I know. I know what you're used to. I've seen it. I've seen it on YouTube. 10-minute videos. Oh, they're going to regret everything, and you're also going to get $1 million. Yeah, I know what you're used to. I don't do that. Think I haven't come to terms with my own bullshit? If you're a real person and you've lived a real life and you've had real feelings and you've had real fuck-ups and you know it and you don't want to repeat it, you tell yourself what's up. You have a different, really different conversation in the mirror with yourself. What am I doing? Fuck what I want to see. What am I doing? And can I own it? I'm saying that because when this comes back around, and it will, at the rate you're pulling them in, it will. I want you to understand why. It's a classic reflection of it keep trying to introduce itself into your timeline. You kept wanting it, kept denying it. Why do you want them? Are they a reflection of your ego? Or because they represent the best parts of you that are unfulfilled in something that is grossly unfulfilling? That's enough. Okay. Virgo honey. And we're going to pull them in, do it right. And next time the love energy comes back in as an option, accept it. Claim it. Say this is mine for the right reasons. Because it's so funny. Your energy is so busy here saying this is mine, this is mine, this is mine. It's like you don't even question it. When if something is actually for you, you're like, no, it's not. But I want it. I'll see you in a couple weeks. See if there's improvement. I hope so. I may not necessarily pick up on this particular group of Virgos. I would like to see more resolution. I'm very curious about whether or not this person, when they will come back in. It's looking like it's further out. Within a month or so. I'm getting heavy notes to summer, but for some of you, late May. I hope you get into that position where you actually see what it is you're supposed to reject and what it is that you're supposed to accept. One that's based on healthy love versus toxic love. Dependency, false notions of why we do anything. Because part of that is, yes, narcissism. Well, this is why I have to. They're totally dependent on me. They couldn't do anything without me. They would not survive without me. That's narcissism. And it's also a way to keep us chained to the other person. But you didn't think of it like that. Most people don't. Absolutely. All right, that's enough for reals, Virgo. I want what's best for you. I do. You just have to know what's best for you. The dynamic you've been playing in versus the one that you would actually like to be in. That's it. All I can tell you is what is here, not what isn't. Okay? Put in the comments as you see fit. And I do hope for better days for you. You have the potential for better days, baby, but you got to know that it's there. You have to know that you want better days. Take care. Be well.